Your subscribe keeps us motivated. Subscribe now.
Two particles A and B moves with constant velocity v1 and v2. At the initial moment, their position is r1 and r2. The condition for the particles A and B for their collisions. So, first thing to understand here, condition is for the collision. So, let me just write here, for the collision to take place, the final position of both the particles should be equal. Yes, if final position will be equal, then only they are colliding, right? Collision means they are at the same position, right? So, first particle initially is at r1 position, moving with velocity. So, let's say they are moving and they are hitting each other at any time t. So, how much distance first particle will cover in this time t? v1 into t. Speed into time is distance. Let me repeat again. Initially, the particle was at r1. At any time t, the first particle is going and hitting to the second particle. So, how much distance it has travelled in that particular time? v1 into t. And in the same time, how much the second particle has travelled? So, distance will be r2 plus v2. Sir, why you have equated both? Because this is the final distance of both, final position of both the particles. Now, let's take r2 on the left hand side. It will be r1 minus r2, and that will be equals to v2t minus v1. And this will be our r1 minus r2, v2 minus v1 into time t. Now, how much time they have travelled? Okay. So, how much time they have travelled? That will be simply distance, the separation between the two particles upon the velocity of the two particles. So, we can write here the magnitude. Be very careful here. We are dealing with magnitude of r1 minus r2. The distance actually they travelled with the velocity difference, the relative velocity, that is how much? Magnitude of v2 minus v1. And now, we can cross multiply to get our final answer. So, here on cross multiplying, what we will get? We will get here as r1 minus r2, this is r2 here, r1 minus r2 whole divided by mod of r1 minus r2, correct? That is equals to v2 minus v1 whole divided by magnitude of v2 minus v1, and that is option B.